First, I want to say thank you. Thank you for joining us. I am truly appreciative of you accepting this offer or honor to interview and be on Girlfriend Hour with Dr. Grayson, the series Unbossed and Unbothered, where I am talking to Black women who have chose to either walk away from corporate America and start entrepreneurship or have been laid off and chose entrepreneurship, what they're going to do next. I am so proud of the women that I've interviewed, just like I am so proud to hear your story, allow my audience to hear your story, because this is just amazing for someone who chose to choose entrepreneurship at such a young age. So before I get into my series of questions, would you please kindly tell everybody about Miss Bernaya Hoover?
Yes. So, hello. My name is Bernaya. I'm 25 years old. I am a licensed master cosmetologist. I went to school at Aveda in Atlanta. I graduated in 2019. I have been basically working on myself since then. COVID ended up happening. So when COVID happened, that kind of put a little pause in between uh moving forward. But soon as everything started getting back in order, I ended up going to go take my test, and I passed. I got my license. And yes, now I am in my suite right now.
Well, congratulations. And I do understand that COVID affected so many people from moving forward with their dreams and ambitions. But I'm glad that you picked up where you left off from and you stay committed to your desire of being entrepreneurship and choosing the field that makes you happy. So just congratulations again.
Thank you.
So Bernaya, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to leave corporate America? Because
So,
you were working for someone else before, right?
yes, I was working with a company. I started there. As soon as I got my license, I went straight there. Part of the reason I went there because I honestly wanted to learn. I wanted to get a feel of the real world because I didn't want to just go straight into doing it by myself without any, because in school they teach you a little bit, but in the real world that's where you learn pretty much everything for real, for real. You just learn the basics in school. Master cosmetologist, I have done hair, I have tried nails, I have tried barbering, I have tried pretty much everything in the book. And I was interested in hair removal, but they never really touched on it. So it was never something that really crossed my mind. It was kind of like the last thing where it was like, okay, let's try this. Let's see how I like this. And if I like it, then I'll stick to it. So that's when I went and got my job at a company. And I worked there for about 2 years. And I will say that working there has taught me a lot, and it's definitely a I've always had a dream to do entrepreneurship, to have my own suite, to do my own thing. That's why I went to school. But being there actually showed me how important it was to do it on your own. And because working with corporate America, I feel like it's a like they only care about numbers. They only care about numbers. They don't care about how good of an employee you are. Um, how like they don't care about any of that. They just care about how much money you're bringing in, and that's it. So I will say, not feeling appreciated and just seeing how you are slaves and just seeing that it's not fair. So that's what that pushed me to go ahead and do. You know what? It's time for me to go on my own. I see how much money I'm making for this company. Like I'm waxing like 20 people, 15 people a day. Wax was the waxes are like $75. So I'm waxing all these people, and I'm only bringing home like basically pennies from that. It was like no, yeah,
Right.
I just like that just wasn't okay. It wasn't
So
okay, and it was just, and it's a problem. It's definitely something. It's definitely a problem, and it's something in my 10-year plan that I also want to do. I want to help women who's in the position that I was in, and being able to give them the opportunity to strive and still learn without being taken advantage of.
okay. So can you tell me what's the name of your business? So what do you do? I know you mentioned as being a master cosmetologist that you can do hair, you can do nails, you can do massage. Tell me exactly what your business entails, the name of the business.
So the name of the business is the Golden Peach. And I do wax full body waxing services, facials, and brows. That's what I focus on.
On the amount of money that you really could be making because you would, like you said, you was doing 15 to 20 services a day and you was getting pennies from it. So that's what made you say, okay, you know what, I've had enough. So would you say that with your corporate experience, did you feel like you had enough to teach you how to go on your own, or did you kind of like learn what influenced you to make the decision to like start your own business?
I felt like I did learn a lot, especially because I was there for 2 years. And I was there like 5 days a week. I started off with 5 days a week, and my days started to go down as like the longer the time I was there. But seeing how the front operates to seeing how the back operates, it showed me what I want to do and what I don't want to do. I feel like because I had the basics, because all you really need is the customer service and the skills, and the other things kind of just come along with it. So I felt like I was prepared enough to be, I feel like I had enough experience to be able to say, I don't need you guys anymore. I learned how to wax under 15 minutes. I have learned techniques that works for me. You know, people, my clients, they love me. I'm not like a painful waxer. All of those things where I'm like, you know what? If I was to put how much I'm putting into their business, just imagine what I learned from there, and what my own thing, and just put everything into that, like how that can blossom.
So with choosing your name, you say you went to Aveda in Atlanta, and Atlanta is known as the Peach State. I
Yes.
see the color in the background is peaches, like a peach color, and that's just also beautiful. Just seeing, everything come alive. The peach concept. I'm gonna ask you what made you go into the peach concept, because it definitely goes along with your business. How did you come up with that name? And so tell me.
Well, I just I just thought of something. First of all, I love food. So
Okay.
that was like, perfect. I wanted something catchy. I wanted something that when I create my names for my services, I can, I can incorporate that in there. Um, the peach is perfect for like, like the shapes. All of that was just like, this is perfect. And then I'm in Chicago right now. I started off in Atlanta, but my dream is to go back. And I feel like I needed to start somewhere. yes, I needed to start somewhere. And I just thought that being it would be perfect. That was another thing. It would be perfect for me to be able to move that to Atlanta because it's the Peach City.
Right, right.
And yeah, so that was my dream. That was really my dream. Like, I really wanted to do this in Atlanta. Atlanta is hot all the time, and and like I said, that's where I started off. So the business there is booming, and I
Okay.
have waxed like famous people. Like, I waxed Nivea. Like, I have networked with so many people. So it's just like, yeah. I get
So
so
that so
excited. I get so excited.
so that's the beauty of it. It is, all of it is an inspiration. It's an inspiration to
Yes.
younger entrepreneurs. And the reason why I asked you what made you come up with the idea or the name and things like that is because it'll show the audience basically, okay, these are some of the things that you can consider when you're choosing a name or when you're choosing a business. It also, when you think of your idea to go back to Atlanta with it. I mean, it can go from just another branch. You could still have this location in Chicago and then
Yes.
have another branch in Atlanta and anywhere else, right? Because the name it breaks it down to, okay, it's Peach City, but just not just the Peach City, but the actual body part a woman can call, the peach or whatever, right?
Yes.
So fuzzy peach and things like that. So I've heard different names about peaches. I want the audience to know when you're making a decision, these are some of the things to consider. So I just wanted you to expound on that. But so thank you.
Yes.
Um, how does your identity as a Black woman shape your approach to entrepreneurship? What do you think about as a Black woman when you chose to step out on your own?
First of all, I am inspired by Black women in entrepreneurship. My mom is a Black woman, and she owns her own business. Like, I have Black women around me who are entrepreneurs, and it just shows this type of like badass, because just as Black people, we don't really get it easy in the world. We don't really get it handed to us, and I hate to sound like that, but it's true. And you got to work harder. You got to work harder for people to believe you, for people to see you. We always I can say that sometimes we do have this like the stigma on us, like, of like it's hard working with Black women and stuff like that. And I know I wanted to approach that as different, like having good service, customer service, having um integrity, um just being a person. I know business is business, but people, they want to, they if they love your energy, like, they come for you,
Right,
so
right, right.
if I worded that right.
Yeah,
Yes.
you did. You did. You did. Basically, you're
Yes.
saying it's your spirit, your customer service, your etiquette, you even being soft when you're doing the waxing. The way you
Yes.
handle your business is not just the job of doing the business, but it's the all around. It's you
Yes.
as a woman, you as a Black woman, how you approach the people. And you mentioned how Black women have a hard time, or they also have this experience with others, and they have to prove themselves over and over again, basically. And so you're saying that you look at it as, okay, this is who I am, and who I am has great character. Who I am is very approachable. Who I am is polite. Who I am is giving good customer service, because my business basically thrives off of customer service. This is what I'm hearing from you. My business thrives off of customer service, and it's my job to give good customer service. So,
Yes.
okay. Um, Let me ask you this. So you chose to leave corporate America and you're doing entrepreneurship. You started your business, you opened your own suite. So you're not just somebody that's doing it, willy-nilly. You didn't open up your own suite and things like that. So it brings about a source of freedom. Can you tell me what this freedom of entrepreneurship, what is it bringing to you? How do you feel about it?
I will say that it's great. Like, I'm able to make my own schedule. I still have to work hard, I still have to like work, but it feels good to be able, like I don't feel like, ugh, I gotta go to work. Like, I'm going to work like I got a client, like, so it's just like that's the freedom of just like being able to like pocket my own money, even though it's expensive to keep up with it. But I will say, like, with working with corporate America, like, I got wrote up for being sick. I had an ear infection. I had bronchitis. Like, I was down bad. I'm on steroids, inhalers, all type of stuff. I can't move fast at this point. And they, like, the way that the company was set up was I had to wax people every 15 minutes. So I'm moving slow. I'm like, I can't do it. I have to, like, I have to stay home. Can you believe I got wrote up for that? And that was another thing that was just like, wow. Like, compared to my clients who I can text and actually say, hey, I'm sick. I apologize. You're fine. When can we reschedule? Stuff like that. Like, that's just the freedom. Being able to, like, I can run how I need to run things. And I can still be very, and I still give incentives and things like that. If anything, like, I'm still like, I don't take advantage of it. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't take advantage of that. But it's still something that's just amazing, like, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's
It
a
gives you
beautiful
great
thing.
freedom. Yeah, yeah. You can be sick,
You
and
can
I
be
feel like,
sick
yeah,
in peace
yeah,
and not
yeah.
feel, the pressure of that, or like I couldn't even get a bathroom break. Like, that was another thing. Like, that was crazy to me. Like, because people are coming back to back to back to back to back. If you go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, you 5 minutes behind, basically. Like, like, all of that, just it's just not a way to live. It's not a way to live on your body. It's not right.
I, when I look at situations like that, I often look at, if your business is running like that, you're not gonna keep your staff. So evidently, I'm sure they have a high turnover rate. Um,
Very high turnover rate.
And if you have, and normally it's good people that's leaving, not necessarily the bad people that's leaving. And so if the good people are leaving, that makes your, and left the bad people, that makes your business look bad. But it's because of the leadership. If leadership is horrible, then the rest of the business gonna be horrible, just point blank. So, to hear that, I can understand it, why you said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do this on my own.
Yeah.
I'll have to I'll have to
Enough
deal
is
with
enough.
this. With that, or just going on into your own, what has been like some of the biggest challenges so far, and how you push through as being an entrepreneur? starting your own business
Um,
and things like that?
I will say definitely just getting clients in the door right now because I'm new. Not a lot of people know about me. Not a lot of people know that I'm here. You can't just expect people to know that you're here too. So I will say that is definitely something that's a little tough on me right now. It's just keeping the clientele. I have people coming back. They're coming back, but it's just I don't have enough.
Okay.
So it's like I have to do the footwork. So now it's like, okay, what's other things I can do to promote my business? I did like I passed out flowers with my business cards. But what's challenging with that was a lot of people are not friendly. And that's another thing, the difference in Chicago and Atlanta. In Atlanta, people were a little bit more easy to approach. You know, you can have a conversation with just a random person and then, them not think that you're weird or like, you know, stuff like that. Or it's just, I don't know. The demographic is definitely different here. So, like, I remember I walked up to a lady with my flower and I was just trying to give her the business card. And she was like, I don't have no money. I don't have no money. I don't have no money. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I'm just giving you a
Look,
card,
I'm not homeless.
and I looked put together. Like, I didn't look like, you get what I'm saying? But it was just stuff like that. And then I walked up to another lady and she told me that she was going to throw the flower away, but she'll keep the card. Like, or walking up to people and them, like, just straight ignoring you. They want to hear nothing you gotta say because they think you trying to sell them something. When I'm really just passing out flowers, like, like stuff like that. So I realized, okay, well, I don't think that it's a good idea for me to go out in the public, just in public. I think I need to go to events. I need to do pop ups, like where people are actually like in a sociable setting
Right.
where you're, a little bit more welcoming. So I will say that I'm just learning, and I know that it's first of all, it's the first year. I haven't even been open for like 3 months yet. So things are definitely like I know it's gonna pick up. I'm definitely social media is definitely another challenge. Um, and being consistent with posting. They want you to post so many times a day, and it's like I don't even have that much content to post that much a day. Like, and all of those things is just something that's a challenge, but I'm pushing through it. Um, I want this really bad, so it's not an option to give up. It's just an option to just, keep going, keep like listening to all the ideas. I have a lot of people giving me advice. You should do this, you should do that. I've been taking it in. I've like just being open, not being closed minded. And I definitely will say, yeah, just see how expensive it could be.
Okay.
But I do know that that comes with a business. I know that that's what comes with entrepreneurship. But as a black woman, you have to show resilience and just and keep going. Keep
So
going. Don't
pushing.
let the challenges break you because there is always an end to it. And sometimes like if things and this is just like in life period, when things don't work out, you just keep going. You pick back up. You learn from them and you keep going. And that's just something that I need to apply all the time, you know. But yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's beautiful. And thank you for sharing that with the audience because you will hit some challenging times. You will hit some moments. You're gonna have ebb and flows, and I always talk about that. You're gonna hit a moment where it's like everything is beautiful, and and then you'd be like, okay,
Peaches
I'm making
and
my money, I'm getting
cream.
my clients and all this other stuff, right? And then it'd be like, okay, something happened, and then you ain't seen somebody, clients had to reschedule, or you're not getting the money like you used to. So in the beginning, there are a lot of ebb and flows. You have to get built up, and so I understand that challenge. One of the good things that you brought up is like going to events where people are a lot more sociable. Also handing out the cards and in the street, or the flowers and stuff like that. It seemed like such a beautiful gesture, right? It seemed like everybody be like, okay, thank you, but, but they got a whole nother
But when you
agenda.
go out there and you
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
you like that? Oh, it's like, oh, okay, I see. Yeah,
yeah. So
it's definitely like that's a perfect example though. Like you think everything is beautiful, and then you go out there and you like, whoa, like
yeah.
But instead of me like just saying forget it, I had to rethink. Okay, what's another way I can do this? Like, yeah,
And I think also, when with consistency and steady doing it, it improves you, right? It
yes,
unfortunately, it also make your skin a little tougher, right? It's like, oh, that don't,
yes.
I ain't worried about that, right? But sometimes you need a tough skin. I can tell you, as being a Chicagoan myself, I'm not a New Yorker, because our skin is not as tough as New Yorkers, I wouldn't say,
Not as
but
tough
I
as
was,
theirs.
yeah.
That's a whole
But
nother breed right
and
there.
I'm not knocking no New Yorkers, so I'm not saying it like that. But I'm just saying, when you're in big city life, you do tend to build up a tougher skin because you've experienced things like that. Not saying that all people are unpleasant. There are definitely pleasant people, but when you talked about in Atlanta, it's a difference, and that's sometimes a more of a Southern charm. People could be pleasant because that's hospitality is almost taught. It's innate. It's in their blood, in their DNA. That be slow. In Chicago, it's a rush, rush, rush,
Yes,
rush, rush, and
yes.
it's a little bit of a difference of a pace. Can you tell me this? I know that you mentioned how people have been giving you some guidance and stuff like that. Have you set up any mentors, or do you networks, or even like when you said going to events, have you met any mentors, or let's say networks that you're involved in, that helps you build your business or better orchestrate, or the challenges that you may face?
Well, no, I haven't. I was actually told that I should go to a community college to try to get a mentor, just in business, period. But I kind of want a mentor that's in my field, that's in the beauty field, who has been in it for years, especially because I'm already in it, and you actually can have more than one mentor too.
Right, right.
So
Yeah.
I would love to have more than one. But I'm definitely still trying to network and find people. My cousin, he does he works with a company that does like networking, and they're like different events. So he might have one where there might be one where art for artists and like videographers to like meet up. Like, so he'll have an event where everybody's in one room. He did one for, I think that was Valentine's Day, and he did like a women's pop up, like a woman entrepreneur. So all the women who had businesses came in and had their own table, and we all just went around and like introduced ourselves and got each other's information, stuff like that. I have heard about, and I have to work on putting myself out there more. Could be very shy when I get around people I don't know. I mean, around people I know, I'm talkative, but like when I get around people I can't in a shell, I get nervous. I start thinking like, okay, what are they thinking? Like, I start going through this whole like anxiety thing, which I'm working on, but I definitely need to start putting myself more out there. Put myself in like Facebook groups, things of that nature where I'm networking with people all around. Yeah.
With that being said, what steps did you take to get your business off the ground? I know that you went to school and you became a master stylist or master cosmetologist, I'm sorry. And then you came to Chicago because that was in Atlanta, and then you came to Chicago. How did you get your business off ground to be in this wonderful establishment that you are in now?
So, my mom helped me a lot.
Okay, go
she
mama.
definitely she helped me out so much. So I had my aunt, and my mom. They helped me out with like the numbers, the back, like getting my LLC, getting everything established and things like that. Because a lot of people don't do that first. They just go straight into, So I wanted to do it the right way. So we got the background set up, and then my dad has a friend who owns this shop. So she gave me the opportunity. She said you could come here. So I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. I told her like, okay, I'm coming. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move in. I'm gonna do it. So I just started buying, and I just started buying everything I needed, trying to put like the colors together. All of that was really fun. I'm gonna say that part. Setting up the room and all of that was really fun. And my mom, she definitely helped me with. She's very creative, so I was on her like, okay, what do we need? What do like, I gave her the name. I told her how I wanted to feel in there, and she definitely helped me out with that.
It makes
But
it it makes it,
yes,
it makes it feel real when you actually, I know the paperwork and stuff like that, that's paper and you don't really you can't see
you
exactly
can't
what
see.
you're gonna do, right? I mean, the paper is the legal part of it, but when you start seeing a place being transformed into what you want it to look like, it's like, oh my God, this is real,
This
so
is
yeah.
real. And I remember just the excitement I was getting from it. Like, I remember before I started, I would have these moments where I would be a little scared. I'd be like, oh my God, what if it don't work out? Or what if this? Or what if that? Like, I was kind of like comfortable where I was at because I was working. I was working with the company. I got pissed off. When I got pissed off, that pushed me to that put a fire in my butt. It lit it. I swear, I was like, I'm doing it, and yeah, I feel like just getting the suite together and setting up like the website. I had to set that up. Building my social media. That was another thing. Like I'm coming straight from a company, so I couldn't take any pictures. I had no work. I had the skill. I know I'm good, but it's like who gonna see that, So it was one of them
Right.
things where it was like I was posting reviews from what I was getting from that company. I was posting my review. I mean, because this what people were personally saying about me.
Uh-huh.
So I'm posting stuff like that. I'm just like getting people ready, letting people know, like, okay, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. I wanted to do a soft launch. I never I never necessarily did that. I heard it's not too late. I still can. But I feel like if you do start a business, definitely, like, especially with this, you should do a soft launch to get people in the door. They can know about you, things like that. Yeah.
So with all this whirlwind, you say you've been in operation for about 3 months now, and everything is, like I'm building my business. I'm looking for clientele. I am trying to think, okay, what else can I do to think outside the box? Because like you said, you wasn't able to pull any of the clientele or the people or even the pictures from the old business that was in corporate to your own suite. So you're basically starting from scratch. With all that being said, can you tell me how you managing your personal life outside of your business?
Oh my gosh. My personal life, it's because of my freedom.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
I have felt so much lighter. Like, I'm able to get things done, like if I have, like today, I don't have a client until 5:30 today. So I'm able to go and take care of what I need to take care of and be back here, take care of my client and then leave, like things like that is just like, I can block my schedule out. And because it's slow right now too, it's a little bit easier for me to be able to manage my personal life because I don't have too many people in demand right now. But and I will be able to, like, once I feel like I have a good clientele, I can narrow my schedule down. I can be able to, because I'm open all day. I'm open all day because I'm just like, whoever want to come, just come, just, but that's what you got to do when you first open your business and it's just you. You got to be there every day. You got to, like, so it's just something that I'm still
Yeah.
able to manage it though. I'm still able to manage it. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I'm able to be like, okay, you know what? I can't do this. I have a client at this time, but it's still flexible because I'm not in one place at one time, all day. You get what I'm saying? Compared to like when I was with the company, I was there from like 2 to 8. That's my whole day.
Right,
8 o'clock,
right.
stuff closing. You can't do nothing, and then like that time before 2, it's kind of like you want time for yourself sometimes. You don't want to be getting up, rushing, trying to do stuff, and you gotta wax 20 people that day. Like all of that was just,
You should be exhausted. You shouldn't want to look at no more coots.
oh my gosh, exhausted. Like what? But yes, it feels good. It feels amazing. It feels amazing. I'm able to do more. I'm not a like with when I was with the company, you could only like if you left hairs, it was okay because um you have to be able to get them in within those 15 minutes, and they didn't care for real, for real. It was one of those that you just need to get people in and out. Here, I'm able to take my time. If you have a look, I can take my time without feeling rushed. I love that. I'm able to treat my clients like I give them wine in the beginning of their service, like stuff like that. I
Like
want people
royalty. Like they treat them like they
royalty.
people.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And I definitely um I did try to tell my people, like, I was leaving, but that's okay. That's okay. They'll find me if they they'll find me.
Uh-huh. They will. They will. So tell us about your business and who it's for.
Okay. So, I specialize in hair removal and facials and brows. Um, the hair removal is honestly for men and women. I was actually gonna start getting into doing males, and I know some people be like, men don't get waxed, but the LGBT community, they love getting waxed. Um, and like people professions like you know like porn stars, strippers, stuff like that. Like it's a clientele with those. So I definitely want to get into that, and I want to be able to just do it all. For my facials, I do it for men and women. Brows, men and women. It's for everybody. Um, I'm open to like if women want to bring their daughters, they want to introduce them into waxing. I just would prefer them to be there. Um, but I'm open. I'm open to everybody, and yeah, specializing in hair removal
So when you
and
say
skin
daughters, what
correcting,
age?
relaxation. Yes.
So when you say daughters, what age do you start waxing?
I would say 16.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. 15 to 16. I know that's the age where you're 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 around, you know, it your hair you're going through puberty, you know, and I do recommend for if you start hair removal, I will recommend that they start waxing. Just start off with waxing. Because I will say sometimes shaving can cause like ingrowns. Sometimes it can just mess people's skin up, and that just comes from them being young. Years, years and years of constantly shaving. Especially like when you're young, you really don't know. So you get people who shave like every day. You know, things like that that will cause wear and tear to your skin. So when you
So
start
you
off young, you can
by
definitely,
education.
yes, yeah,
What
I do
what
recommend that.
what it impact do you hope your brand, your business will lead to the industry, your community? I already heard you say that you can work with any community. You know, you can go from teens, LGBTQ, porn stars, just regular everyday people, men, who want to be waxed, because there's a lot of men that like to be waxed as well. So
Yeah.
tell me what type of legacy or what type of impact you plan your business to hit these communities.
Um, I would just say just confidence, feeling confident. Um, I would say I am very body positivity. I grew up feeling self conscious and just like one of those things where we should not feel self conscious about our bodies. You know, um, like when I get people who come in and they be like, "Oh, my underarms are dark," or you know, this is dark. Like I always reassure you to let you know that this is normal. You know, you're not the only person in the world that has it. Nobody is looking like ill. Like all of these things that I try to instill in my people. I and just what I would want somebody to make me feel like when I leave out of my appointment. I want to feel love. Like, oh my God, I love my wax lady down. She is such a nice person. Like her energy, you know, like even like my lash lady. She lives in Des Plaines, but her customer service is amazing. And I have dealt with so many um bad lash techs, and I'm not trying to, but it's kind of like, you know, yeah, I'm not trying to bash anybody, but I'm just saying, like, you know, when you leave a impact on somebody, they will always remember that. And I just want to leave an impact on people.
All right. So with that impact that you're going to leave on people, what do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, I see myself in Atlanta for sure. Um, I my end goal is I really want like an incubator type thing where it's just for waxing. You're able to come in there and basically run your business, but because I will say this with sweets, it's one of those things where it's like you may see a hairstylist over here, or you may see a lash tech over here. Like it's a whole bunch of people in one place, right? Um, the problem with me and the problem that I'm having now is just the clientele, people finding me. I want to be able to have a building where there's waxing suites for girls like me who need that push start, who need, who want to start their own entrepreneurship. And I want it to be for my customers to be able to come in and say, oh, I need a wax. I just need to find a girl that I like. You get what I'm saying? So
Okay.
it's like people are coming in and they know what they're coming in for. So there is no competition. There is just straight cut, your brand. So definitely that's like I really wanted to help women because of the struggle that I struggled with and just being taken advantage of for those 2 years of working. And you get what I'm saying? Even though I did learn a lot from there, and you do have to start from the bottom, but I don't think it was fair. I don't think it was fair how bad you were taken advantage of. Like like when I tell you the numbers, you're gonna be like, wow, that's crazy. Stuff like that. Like I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be where and waxing is definitely, and it doesn't even just have to be like waxing. It could be laser hair removal also. Um, because I know you have small businesses who also does laser hair removal also. So I just want it to be hair removal, really. But in the next few years, it's definitely gonna be bigger than what it is. A lot of people didn't know about waxing, and you hear more and more about it as time go on. So it's definitely growing in the industry. So I'm glad that I'm right there in the beginning. You don't even see a lot of like waxers either. You see a lot of lash techs, you see a lot of hairstylists, you see a lot, but you don't really see a lot of waxers because sometimes they be like, I don't want to do that job, all those type of things. But yeah, it's definitely if not, like I said, if I don't have the building, I definitely still want to be in my suite in Atlanta with about, I want 10 clients a day or more. But
Okay.
it's
Okay.
me. I'm pocketing all that money. That's what I
Okay.
want.
Okay. Well, I know you can do it. I with this beauty of a Black woman choosing entrepreneurship and running her own business and growing in the next 3 5 years. On your goal and ambition is to have a slew of suites that have nothing but waxers, and I think that is amazing. For other Black women out here that will be scared or nervous or the anxiety of starting a new business, tell me, what would you tell a new entrepreneur who's starting their business? How would you encourage them? What should the audience know on starting?
Take your time, do it your way. Don't let anybody deter you or make you feel or make you, like literally cancel everybody out. Cancel all of the noise and just focus on you. Focus on you. Don't give up and keep going. Just do it. Literally just do it. Don't let that guilt and stuff eat you up because it will hold you back. So keep going, stay focused, and you will see the finished product. Once you see it like all coming together, you're gonna be so proud of yourself. And that's like the rewarding thing. It's just like, wow, I did this, you know? I've been saying that I was gonna start my business for years. I've been saying that I actually I tried to do something that like in my basement when I was in Atlanta. That didn't really work out. Um, but I didn't give up. I didn't give up. It was one of those things where it was like, okay, I see how the home and what I'm trying to do just don't work for me because that was another thing. Everybody kept saying, well, work from home. Work from home. Make do your own little suite at home, listening to other people. I kind of felt like it wasn't for me and like waxing at home. I know some people, but like I was working at a company, so the type of clientele that I was already getting, they're not going to nobody's house. They want to go to a company. You know what I mean? I'm not a company, but a place. They want to see
Right.
like
Right.
yes. It's just a certain type of and the clientele that I wanted, that's what I wanted. You get what I'm saying? So it was one of those things where like I just had to say, you know what? I need to do this my way. I'm not listening to y'all. I'm not doing this at home. Everybody telling me, how about you go to different people's houses? No, because that's not what I want to do. And I'll eventually when I do want to, or when I think it's right for me, then I will. But don't let anybody make you feel like you have to do something when if they're especially if they're not in this business, you get what I'm saying, they don't know. Don't let that deter you into making your decisions. Do your own research and get information from people who's actually in that business or who has like whatever you doing. Yeah, for sure.
I like that because it's your business, it's your thing, and you should operate. It's okay to take advice and have a mentor and hear other people out because it's not saying that they don't have good intentions or that they don't know the
Yes.
business. But some people don't know the business and they just throwing it out. But you stuck to I want the type of clientele that's going to come to a location, not in my house, because sometimes it's hard to separate home from business as well. I can tell you that from
Yes.
working remote. With working remote, I was consistently working, right? Sometimes you will find yourself working a little bit more than you normally would do your 9 to 5. It's like, I'm at home. Okay, well, you know what? I know something needs to be done. Let me go on to my computer, log on and do this. No, I'm at home and I'm off, you know. So
Yeah.
leaving this location and going home, that means work is separated, right? But
Yes.
it also shows, like you mentioned, the type of clientele that you want. You don't always want people in your house. You don't know what the clientele is going to be that you receive. It could be some very famous people, and they may feel like, well, I don't, I would prefer to come to a location. So
Yes.
you just don't know what type of clientele you're going to get. So I understand that. I respect that. My one of the two last questions that I'm going to ask. One is, what is some advice that you wish someone would have told you with, starting your business? Just one piece.
Um, I'm trying to think because I feel like I've had a lot of hmm, you know what? Maybe I don't know because I feel like people like my mom, like she told me it was gonna be expensive, like she told me that, it's hard to get clientele. I will say that I probably could have been a little stubborn.
Okay, so it wasn't the advice that
Definitely could
people
have been
gave
a
you.
little.
It was you. It was you.
It was me. It was me. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think I need to get into it a little bit more. Because I
But
feel
that's,
like a lot of things that people have been telling me, I have been taking it in, and now that I'm in the bit, like my friend, she has her own wax business too, so she's been like, telling me what I should do and things like that. Or like the guy who's right next door to me, he has been a really big help on um like what I should do and what and that's what I mean about like being around people who's in that business. It's so much easier to take um like advice from them. So
so
hmm
basically, you're saying that you've had great people around you to provide you great advice. Also,
yes,
with having those great people giving you advice, sometimes you're a little stubborn on some of the advice that you got. So, yeah,
yes,
yeah. So, to
yes,
the audience, I just want you to know that although you're going to have great people that's going to give you advice, you're going to have some people that's going to give you advice that's not going to be so great, but also you have to also be open to some of the advice and not be so stubborn, because some people be like, okay, just start it, and you'd be like, no, but I need to
yep,
have this in place and this in place and this in place, and no, start it. And the thought that fear starts setting in when you be like, I gotta have this in place, I gotta have this in place, and stuff like that. So
yeah. You
I
start
do.
down yourself. You start all of that.
Right, right, right. Tell me this, Bernaya, and this is my last question. I want to ask you this last question in regards to success. What did success look like to you 5 years ago compared to today? When you was in corporate America, what did success look like to you?
Success. Oh, that's a good one. I will say that 5 years ago, I think that success looked like just making a whole bunch of money. Um, and yeah, I don't know if my success was. It definitely was different. I don't want to say realistic, but
That's
like,
okay. What I mean, it don't have to be. I mean, it's what you thought was success. I mean, like you said, a part of it was making a whole lot of money.
well,
So
you know what? I don't even want to say a lot of money. I will say I would say actually like, because I had to think, and I just had to put myself back to where I was at 5 years ago.
okay.
Um, and I definitely had just graduated cosmetology school, and I just saw myself just working, working in my field, and actually like doing, sticking to something. Because I remember when I was in school, I wasn't really sure if I was gonna do hair. Like I kept on switching. I kept on going back and forth. It was like, oh, I'm gonna just do silk presses. Then it was like, oh, I'm just gonna do color. Like, it was like so many like different ideas of what I was gonna do. And yeah, I even said that I wanted like a shop with like um I wanted like a groomers, like where you can go get pampered with your dog.
Oh,
So
okay.
you have one side where you get pampered, and then the other side the dog get pampered. So definitely like just being like my dreams just coming true, like saying what I was gonna do type thing. And
What does success look like you
success
today?
now is still, I would say it's still just saying what I said I was gonna do, and actually like seeing it. Like I would say, sometimes you can't just put money on things because money does not mean all. You know, it's so much more to this world, so much more to you as a person. Growth, I feel like would be considered success. Being a better version of you is is being like successful in my eyes and well established. Definitely well established. That's big success right there. Being established, being able to, yeah, dude, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. That is always a question that I always ask because, and I always ask it last because we don't know what our life is going to look like, right? But
Yes,
often we know at the time what I want my life to look like in the future. And
yes,
many people have said that I've interviewed have said success then was money. Success, these are some examples. Success was I wanted to just get my job done, right? I wanted to have a
yeah,
good appraisal review from my boss and things like that. And then when I go into that last part of the question, so what does success look like for you today? It's a whole different ballpark. It's almost like their eyes light up, and it's like it's almost about self. I want to be a nicer person. Success is not about money, whereas about money before, it's about just being genuine and loving more on people. Also, the concept of I want to establish a wonderful business that's about helping others, so it's a different ballpark, it's
yeah,
truly a different ballpark when you think of success before was all about money, 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 materials, material, material, what I can get. Whereas in the future, 5 years to the day, it's like, okay, success means something different today. Success is about not me, but about others.
yeah,
And I love that. I love that because we should always be growing. We should always be thinking about other people. I'm not saying don't put yourself first because if I'm not good, I'm no good to no one else. But what I am saying is it's not just about me, it's about other people.
yes,
And everybody that I've interviewed, their business is about other people, about happiness of other people. That communities aspect of it is such a beautiful part of it, and I love to hear everybody's response. So I just want to say thank you so much, Bernaya. Thank you for joining us. I also would like for
yes.
you to share your handle. Tell us how we can reach you, how the audience can reach you, and how your business can grow successfully.
Okay, well, you can reach me on my email. My email is the golden peach 99 at gmail.com. My Instagram is the peach effect with one underscore. And you can also go to my website from my Instagram. My booking site is up there. Um, and you can also text me too. My number 773-322-7428.
All right, all
And
right.
yes, yes, those are all the things you can have. You can reach me at. Yeah, follow me on Instagram, please.
Thank you so much. I am so proud of you. I just want the audience to know. Remember when I told you that I was interviewing Shanique Hoover and she was the balloon specialist? This is her daughter, and I told you I was going to be interviewing her. So I'm so excited. As you know, she's already got knowledge from her mom, who's an entrepreneur, and she's worked with famous people as well. So this is just a part of the tree, right? This is a part of the branch of the tree, her daughter, and I'm so proud of her. And this is an interview that want people to walk away that's in your age bracket and say, I can do it too. I can do it too. It's not something that I'm doing alone, and you're able to share even your knowledge. I know Bernaya is willing to share, her knowledge, and the encouragement that you have even given in this interview should really hit the masses of young women entrepreneurs. And so young Black women entrepreneurs, not just young women entrepreneurs, but young Black women entrepreneurs. So I want to tell you, thank you, Bernaya. I greatly appreciate you doing this interview with me.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any final words?
Um, nope. Just thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you. And stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused.
Um,
That's my big thing.